What is up, guys? It's Popo Patty, and we are here at Overland Expo day 2, but day 1 for you guys. We're gonna take you around. We're gonna show you some of the cool stuff we see here, me and my buddy Brian, and then just have a good day about it and have fun. I think we might try and ride an Ineos Grenadier as well. There's a few of them out here, including a Quartermaster. Pretty freaking cool. So, with that being said, cool your ass, peck of trash, enjoy the video. Let's go. Now, something you gotta keep in mind when you come to Overland Expo is you're gonna be doing a lot of walking, and I mean miles. So bring your little backpack, bring your water. Yeah, there's food and drinks here, but they're off in one corner. You can't have it spread out throughout the event. Just make sure you have everything with you need. For us, obviously, we got all our camera equipment too, so a lot to carry, a lot of miles. Wear your good shoes, have your happy face, and yeah, we're still walking to the entrance. You can also camp here too. There's a lot of people that set up their camps, but we'll show you some footage of that later. The camping's super crowded. We elected not to spend whatever, $300 or whatever to camp 6 feet from someone else. And we went 10 minutes down the road and found our own nice little prep spot. What is up, guys? I was walking by and I saw my friend Mike from AccuTune, except this time he's wearing a Ride Shocks hat and shirt, and got me confused a little bit until I started talking to him, and he explained a little bit about what Ride Shocks is doing and how they're affiliated with AccuTune actually. And as you guys well know, I have the AccuTune tune on my Bronco on my Keen Shock, so when I saw this booth I had to stop by, say hello, see what's up. Mike, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm a little disguised, a different brand, but no, it's been a long time coming. We're excited to release our own shock brand. As you know, we've been working on other brand shocks for quite a while, tuning them, adjusting the valving, or even the piston at some points. So yeah, this has been kind of a 4-year in the making project, and we just released it this week, and this is our Bronco shocks right here.
So I'm seeing a lot of things different about this setup versus some of the other competition out there. Obviously, sure. I have the Keen, so that's what I base a lot of my stuff off of. The biggest thing that comes to mind right off the bat is your hose size. It's huge.
It is. So the name Ride Shocks, we are 100% focused on ride quality. That is the most important part about these shocks. So in order to do so, we need to get the most oil flow through the main piston and the adjuster assembly. So in order to do that, we need to have massive shock fittings. So these are Dash 10 shock fittings, actually custom made on the main body. And these larger ports allow massive oil flow that goes into the reservoir. And this basically gives us lots of potential for damping performance. So that is one of the major factors that makes us stand out amongst the competition for sure.
And then can you kind of run me through, because I look at this and I see a coilover. Can you explain some of the material and components of this shock to me and what
Absolutely.
It's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So all the red stuff you see here is going to be aluminum anodized red. Red, it was kind of a perfect color for us for obvious reasons. We've been around shocks for quite some time, so we definitely wanted to go with an aluminum shock body for heat dissipation, but also for corrosion resistance. We get some pretty beat up shocks for rebuilds, so we wanted to definitely go with the aluminum body. The reservoirs are aluminum too, so as far as corrosion resistance goes, these are definitely going to last quite a while.
Heat dissipation as well?
Yep, aluminum definitely works better for heat. That won't be as big of an issue for most, but if you are really going to be smashing the whoops in the desert, you really don't have to be worried. The testing we put these through is far beyond what most will do, and the seals were just as happy as when they left.
It's pretty cool. And I think there's something about the fluid I was talking about earlier as well. Your Redline mixer fluid.
Yes.
And you have your custom spec that you got?
Yes, we work with Redline on making the perfect kind of oil viscosity for really high temperature range. So basically the seals are going to give out before the oil does, and the seals, we're very confident they're going to last with high temperatures. So basically that combination of the two components, dialed.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm pretty stoked on this. Just looking at this, it looks pretty cool, and it's way different than when you see in the pictures, right?
Sure. When
you actually see the size of these hoses, this is way bigger than any other hose I've seen before on a Bronco or on any other coilover. So that's pretty cool. And then you got the dual compression adjusters, high and low speed.
Yep, that's correct. So we actually have a patent pending on this design. So it's actually a dual piston adjuster. So there's actually 2 pistons inside of this housing with valving. And so we actually have 2 rear shock options for Broncos depending on the weight. So not only are we going to have a different spring for that application, it's going to come with different valving in the main piston and different valving in the adjuster. So it's not one shock with just a different spring thrown on there. It's very customized to that weight range you have for your Bronco. So whether you're stock or upgrade with tons of accessories, we've got something for you.
So if somebody wanted to buy one of these for your Bronco or Tacoma or whatever else they're going to end up making them for, you're going to be able to spec it out through Ride Shocks based on your build and your weights and what you're running. And it's not going to be, like you said, just the spring. It's going to be everything inside as well. You're going to be talking like how the valving works on the pistons, which they have some demos up here. It's pretty cool. So pretty stoked on that. But
Yep.
you have a Bronco here. Let's see how you guys mounted it.
Sounds good.
All right, so obviously you guys brought your Bronco, and I've seen this Bronco before. It's pretty cool, and it's got your shocks on it now.
Sure does.
So I was looking at it a little bit, and I was very impressed with, I mean, obviously you had fitment issues from the start with the bigger fittings and all that kind of stuff, but you guys made it work, and you can tell like you put a lot of time and effort into getting it to fit. Can you kind of walk me through how it fits and how it mounts, and what other components you have suspension-wise on this vehicle?
Sure. So to fit the 37s, the little bit of lift is necessary. I think we have about a 2.5 inch lift on there right now to fit 37s. We are using our prototype upper control arm on there right now. Our team of engineers really spent a lot of time on figuring out the best location for the reservoir, not only for like placement or like for protection or heat, but also to get into those compression adjusters as well. So I think we've kind of came to a good spot, a good conclusion for that mounting location. Yeah.
I was impressed with the front, especially where they mounted their reservoir. And if you know my Bronco and my Keens, once I cut off my front crash bars, like everyone else, you struggle with finding a place to mount those because the Keens mount to the crash bars. But with Ride Shock, they've developed a bracket to mount their reservoirs exactly where I kind of originally wanted to mount mine. I just didn't have fab skills to make anything. Well, they've gone and they've made something that fits in that perfect spot, and they've tested it. They don't have any rubbing issues on 37s. They're currently running a 0 offset wheel, but they've tested it with the stock tire size and wheel size as well, and no rubbing. They've taken it off-roading. I got some B-roll that you guys probably have seen now. It's been through the whoops. It's been through all that cool stuff. No rubbing on the shock reservoir, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And then the back end, you guys really made that fit like perfect. It's like a glove.
Our engineers are great. I mean, like I said, they spent a lot of time, tried different locations for visibility too. Like I'm big with branding and want it to be nice and showcase, but that's not always the option that we can do. So it's been great, and this thing rides phenomenal. We drove out from San Diego, 6 hours on the highway, drove like a Cadillac, and we went straight to cinders and started blasting the whoops. Didn't air down or anything, didn't change any of the compression adjuster knobs or anything, and it's great. Now it's here.
So Ride Shocks, they're really focused on giving you, the consumer, a really good ride, something that you'll be happy with for an aftermarket shock.
Absolutely.
On a factory vehicle that you're probably using as your daily driver, but something that's also capable of going and hitting the whoops, rock crawling. So
do whatever.
I'm stoked. I'm happy with what you guys are doing. I'm very impressed with the effort and the R&D you guys put into this. I really like that upper control arm. It's a prototype, so I don't think I can talk about it too much, but it kind of checks the boxes of what I've been looking for. So hopefully we'll see that come out one day.
Soon. We'll have to get you on a set of Ride Shocks here soon too.
Reno to Vegas. All right. Thanks for watching. Let's go check out some of the other booths. All right, guys, we're here at the Jackery booth, and they kindly offered to charge my power station because it's almost dead because I don't have solar panels. But real quick, before they charge it, I want to show you one of the new offerings, and I'm probably going to get this now that I have batteries and drones and camera equipment to charge alongside my fridge and all that. So this is the 600 Plus. It's the new unit that's coming out, and this is the old style 300 that I have. And put it next to that, you can kind of see the difference. But the big thing they have going on with the new Jackery power stations is they have the flip-up handles versus the old grab handles, which I really like because this doesn't store well. It's nice for carrying around to go get it charged, but the box shape is kind of what I'm after for a good storage solution in the Bronco, especially since I'm so tight space with 2 kids and all that. You got your USB-C ports, you got your regular USB ports, you got 2 power ports for, this is 800 watt pure sine wave, which is gonna be great if you have to run a CPAP or something like that. You get a little light on there, that's cool, especially like if it's at night, you're trying to grab buttons, you turn that light on, you can kind of see what you're doing. You know, your regular car port. Other than that, it's pretty simple. You can charge it with solar panel. They have a new app as well to where you can kind of change settings and see what the power level is out when you're out and about and you don't want to have to go back and look at it. So I'm going to be ordering this. It's going to be available on Thursday for $419 is what they told me, and then it's going to go up to $450 after that. So pretty cool. I thought it was nice, and it's about twice the size of the old Jackery 300, but it's twice the power. Well guys, we are here at the Devos outdoor booth. Now if you know me, I'm a huge fan of their light Ranger. I've got their, I think it's their 1200. Freaking love that thing. I run it. You've seen my shots on Instagram. I haven't shown it a lot on the YouTube channel, but it's pretty sick, guys. And they just released their brand new version, and it covers a lot of the shortcomings of the original one. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. So this is the old one. This is what I have, and it puts out, it's got a bunch of different settings all done with one button. You could put all 4 LEDs on, you can switch to 2, and you can switch to 1, and then you can also dim it as well by pressing and holding. So it's got a lot of function out of one button. It also has the ability to run a solar panel on top of it to charge it if needed while you're, you know, out during the daytime when you just have it set up somewhere. Sorry about the wind. But then for the different shades of light, they have these lamp shades you could put over. I really like the amber color because when you have that amber on there, no more bug attraction. It doesn't hurt your eyes at night, and it takes off a lot of that brightness of that harsh white light. So I purely run the amber film on mine. I love it. But this is their new setup. This is 80% more battery capacity in power, and it has a couple of different features that kind of set it apart. It's 2000 lumens versus the 1200 on the other one. It has aluminum heat sinks, so these are functional heat sinks to offset some of the heat being output by that higher capacity battery. And then all those lampshades we talked about, those are going to be built in to the light itself as well. So you no longer have to put on plastic shades to change your light color. It's all done with the press of a button. So that's pretty cool. And then you have the same features as well where you can change how much light's being output, you can dim it, all that good stuff. And then another big thing is they now have an app. So one of the biggest complaints I had about the old system, they have an awesome pedestal. It's really robust. It doesn't fall down in the wind like some of the competitors have, like my filmmakers. But when it's way up high, it's kind of hard to reach. So they now have an app for this. So you can control all the settings on this light from the app without having to reach up and touch anything. You can just leave that light where it's at. And it also can hang. It's got a little spot to hang. And it works well with the solar panel as well to recharge it during the day without having to take it down and plug it in anywhere. So pretty cool, guys, and it's a great price. You should check it out. I love these things. It's one of my most used products off-road at camp ever. And like, I swear by these things, they're solid. So right here you can change the different lights. You can select which ones are on, which ones are off. This is the dimness. You can change the dimness. Then you can switch between amber, red, and white just by pressing it. It shows you the battery percentage left right there on the screen. And you can even add different lights and select which light you're controlling. It's recording.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, I am over here at the Project X booth, and as you know, I run pretty much all of their lights that they have for my Bronco right now, and I love their setups. I've been showing you in the videos in the past of how well they work, but I'm here with Jared and Emily behind the camera. Thank you, Emily. And he's gonna run me through, or run you guys through, what they have coming and what they currently have on this sick Bronco that's been wheeled pretty freaking hard.
Yeah, so, you know, to kind of give you guys the idea of like what really our mindset is behind Project X, when we started this brand, you know, we had our lighting, and the first thing we said was like, it's a little ridiculous, this was at the time, no other lighting companies own their own switch box. And then, you know, let's just say that you're gonna go buy a light and you buy a switch box. A lot of lighting companies don't have the mounting solutions. And then a lot of switch box companies don't have a mounting solution. And then a lot of these companies don't have a wiring solution for everything. So you're potentially going to somewhere up to 5 different vendors.
Hodgepodging.
putting things together. And when we're lucky enough that we live in Southern California, you can't go 5 miles without tripping over an off-road shop. So it makes it easy if you want to have someone professionally do that handles that stuff all the time. But if you live in more rural areas, you're now in this scenario where it's hard to get kind of the best of the best. And it's really hard for a lot of people to do wiring. It's intimidating whenever they think about cutting and crimping or doing anything like that. It becomes really intimidating, and it's a little bit of a gatekeeper for people in the off-road industry. So what we wanted to develop was an ecosystem that was easy for people to install, that they could do it in their garage, in their driveway, and make it easy. So as of the 30th of this month, we will now have phase 1 of that plan for us out, starting with the Ford Bronco. So you guys have seen our lights, the universal ones. Now we're going to have our bracket systems out for the modular bumper. So we have this one is our 4-light modular bumper bracket. It does 4 HP70s, so each of these is 15,000 lumens, so it's 60,000 lumens on one setup. This is brighter than anything else on the market for a bumper setup. Nothing comes remotely close to it. All 304 stainless steel, powder coated, laser welded. So when you see like the finish on there, it's not MIG or TIG, it's laser welded. And we've done extensive testing with it. There's just nothing else like it on the industry. These utilize all the factory hardware on your modular bumper, so we don't supply any hardware. It uses everything on there. All the mounts, all the hardware for the lights is the hardware in the light packet. So again, all of the stuff that we supply to you is basically right off the light or your bumper, no additional hardware needed. We also include the wiring harnesses that use 3-pin Deutsch, so plugs right in the back of the light, and it's designed to work with our Ghost Box switch system. So it has the ring terminals and everything right on it, so you can basically just bolt this right to your bumper, run the wiring harness up, connect it to a Ghost Box, and you're done. You're good to go.
And those are kind of wireless too, aren't they?
They are. So basically, instead of having a system where you're pulling a bunch of wire everywhere, you're essentially just tapping that to power and then run your accessory in line.
Don't look under my hood.
All right.
It's a rat's nest.
It will wirelessly sync into the ecosystem. So what we're trying to accomplish with this system and the Ghost Box system set up for the Bronco is that you'll be able to get a system like this and install it in less than 45 minutes, complete, done.
Nice. And then you got some brackets coming out?
Yeah, so well, that bracket first, then we also have the roof mount coming.
Yep.
So that roof mount for the Bronco will have the, again, laser welded technology on it, 304 stainless. We spent a lot of time worrying about wind noise, making sure that it's low. So our goal is always to be, equal or less than the tire noise for most average tires on your vehicle. That one will hold 6 of our FF70s. That's full adjustment for the tilt on it still, so you can angle your lights however you want. That kit will come with 4 spots and 2 floodlights, wiring harness and everything included, just like the front bumper to sync right in your Ghost Box or whatever switch system you use.
Awesome. Well, shoot. Thank you. And then for you guys that don't know, I have the paddy wagon built, and I'm hoping to get some other cool stuff that they got on that as well once it's done. When it gets done, if it gets done.
It'll get done.
It'll get done. It'll get done. But thank you so much. I appreciate it, Jared.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome build. Love it.